fit your O2 2002 Audi TT 225 horsepower. Yes, that's the part I need.
Hey guys, it's Daniel here, and today I'm with my friend Tristan. He was the one who was driving the Cinque on the Nürburgring. And he's trying to buy his freaking Audi TT part for his Audi O2 TT. Yeah, which has like 100,000 miles on it. But today we're talking about how to get better at car photography. Tristan here is also a car photographer he shot cars for how long? Like
3 years.
3 years, so he's way more experienced than I am. But so I'm gonna have him and also me talk about how to get better at car photography. He's trying to buy a stupid part. I'm gonna start by saying, to get better at car photography, you need to start going to more events. So more events means more car shows, more car meets, more car dealerships, anything that has like the cars and the type of cars you want to shoot. For us, we go to a crap ton of car shows, car meets everywhere around Southern California, where we live here in San Diego, and also in LA. We just go to anywhere that has a lot of cars and a lot of people. So that way you could interact with the car owners and then like the people who organize the meets and all that. You could become friends with them, and then maybe when you start talking to a car owner, you know, and you like introduce yourself. Hey, I'm a photographer. I really enjoy taking photos of cars. You give them their information, and then maybe one day they'll call you or email you saying, hey, I need a photographer to shoot my car, my like Porsche or whatever, and they'll hit you up, and then by that you could actually like, you know, get more experience, and then like clients, maybe you could start charging money for photo shoots. Tristan knows a good friend who does a lot of client work. He shoots cars for people, and then like that's his like hobby and his part job. So yeah, going to car events, like meeting the people there, and then getting more experience.
Well, first of all, you have to know that you don't have to have a super expensive camera to start out. Like when I started out doing car photography, I used only my phone and just went to car events and whatever car shows that I could find near me. But just filming on your phone, just posting it is fine for the beginning. And then once I got my camera, I started shooting in auto, and then just like pretending like it was just another phone. And then once I started getting into car photography like more, and once I got a bit older, I started shooting manual and then starting to improve my shots. But the trick is to have those shots that you really want to impress the world with, or like get popular with. You have to take 500-600 shots every single car meet, just whatever shot you can, and then you review all those shots when you are in Lightroom or whatever editing software you use. But I recommend, of course, Lightroom and Photoshop, because those are the two main ones that you'll be using. But just like taking a lot of shots, just running out of storage each time, just keep on taking photos of whatever, like every single angle, the rear of the car, the front of the car, just multiple shots of each car that you see, and that's how you're going to improve and have that one shot that you think is going to blow up. Because when I did photography when I was younger, I took so many shots and reviewed it, like everything I wanted to do, like all the editing. I didn't edit a lot of them. I edit like maybe 4 or 5 shots of one outing at a car meet. So basically it's very time consuming, and it might take a while for you to blow up or like get the right angle. But after you learn more and more and what's the best angle on what car and the lighting, then you can take less shots and then become more of a pro. And that's pretty much how I am right now. I'm just taking a bit less shots, improving my shots, editing, learning online, because online is probably the #1 to learn, and basically just doing it myself and just practicing until you just find
keep going to more events and the more car meets. And also, moving on to the second point is getting to know the cars you're shooting. Like Tristan here, he probably knows more about like supercars and cars, hyper cars than any of our friends or any of us. he knows a crap ton about like even the little details, like how much horsepower, like how much it costs. So knowing that kind of information before you go out and shoot can really give you advantage because you know that like if something like a supercar, there's something very special about it, like, you know, taking a photo of that little like really detailed part of the car could actually really stand out when you're posting on Instagram, and then other people will say, hey, that's really cool, I never knew about that. So yeah.
Yeah, there's like two different things that you do on car photography. It's mostly the overview shot of the whole car, or it's focusing on parts that are special on the car. Like when I post a picture of a Cinque, or any Pagani, I focus on the exhaust because they have massive 4 exhausts in a circle, and it's like really nice, and people appreciate that and if you have like a prime lens like I do, the prime lenses help it make it so precise and focused that it looks so good on any computer or social media. But you don't have to have all these like super fancy equipment. Because it's just like how the shot and how people look at it, and Instagram also brings down the quality of it. So it's like there's a lot of
moving on to our third point, sort of relates to it, is knowing your equipment. You don't need like the best camera or like, you know, the best lenses out there, but like actually knowing what kind of equipment you have and what like the rules of photography.
Familiarizing with your equipment.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what phone, it doesn't matter exactly, just familiarizing with your equipment will make the shots much better.
Yeah, and also you have to know the 3 pillars of photography. If you haven't watched that video that I posted, there's gonna be a link up here and also in the description down below. Check that out to know the 3 basic pillars of photography. You need to get those 3 pillars down before you actually take any type of photography. Like aperture, shutter speed, and ISO are those 3 things are like a requirement for any photographer, any beginner photographer who's starting to get into photography. Same applies to car photography. So the 3 points we went over today to get better at car photography is what was the first one? The first
one is just taking a lot of shots,
going to car
events and dealerships, whatever you can see, even like a mall. We're lucky here in San Diego to have a very big density of cars in our area where we live at, so we could just go right outside and we could spot maybe a Ford 8 or even a Aventador just on a regular basis. But even if it's like a crappy car, not really a good car, you could still practice on that car if you want to get better, because it's all practice. Practice makes it perfect. So more shots you take, the better you are. Yeah.
And then the second point is knowing the car. So like do some research before you go to a car meet of like what cars, and then like look on the websites and see the specs and all that, what colorways.
It's always exciting to see something new and like posting it on your page, and then people will be like, oh my god, this car is so cool, I've never seen one, and you're so lucky to see it. And that's how you gain like people to come to your website or your social media page, that you have cool cars and you take pictures of those cool cars that they haven't seen. They're interested in seeing what you think of the car. So that's why when I post on my Instagram, I comment like different things about the cars that I think of, in my opinion, on the cars. So
yeah, and then the third point is knowing your equipment. So whatever thing you have, whatever phone you have, whatever camera, DSLR, anything you have, your lenses, how every camera setting works. Know the 3 pillars of photography. Watch that video if you haven't. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, follow him on Instagram.
It would be SoCal Car Lifestyle all together. We'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, we'll put a link in the description, and then I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.